I'm so interested in that because I'm as a journalist who's writing about Ukraine, who's considered pro-Ukrainian. Of course, I'm a focus of that manipulation. I'm a focus of the Russian trolls, and at the same time, I have to explain why I write the way that I do. And I'm not the only one. All of my colleagues have to do that, and we're under a lot of pressure. So it's a political discussion, it's a media discussion, and it's a value discussion. You know, when you're talking about agents, I don't know how to define that. There's a lot of trolling going on in the social media, but there's also like an academic society that's discussing this whole Ukraine thing and the attitude towards Russia. And then there's a lot of economic pressure. So of course there's lots of people involved in this, how do I call that, mechanism, or in this game, or however you want to put it. But it's not I cannot say precisely who's on what side. The German government is split in itself. Okay. The Chancellor is quite explicit about what she wants for Ukraine. She wants to keep up the sanctions. She wants to keep the unity of Ukraine. But there's lots of powers and lots of sources in the government as well, who are of course pressured by firms, by companies that are dealing with Russia, and then there is a very broad and intense discussion in the German society about how do we want to deal with Russia? Do we feel guilty? We started Second World War. We are guilty for everything that happened to that country for years and years and years. Russia was a victim of German aggression, so do we have to treat them differently than other countries that will have to live within the world? And this discussion it's a question of values as well, but of course it comes from a different side.
From the other hand, we can see that the Germans view from the new position Ukraine as also like a participant of Second World War, and also which was a victim as well. So, but there are no question of feeling responsible for Ukraine.
Good question, and I'm afraid I have to say the role of Ukraine in Second World War is a question for specialists. This general, rather emotional attitude towards the German role in Second World War and its responsibility for the USSR is one where Russia is the main subject. Ukraine was threatening for a while because Europeans were afraid that a war was coming. Now that it seems like this is like fading in a way, the danger is like going away, and we have the refugees not in front of our door. Our Chancellor is trying to do a good job in breaching the interests of economy and trying to moderate within the German interest groups.